With what we are experiencing right now, we are confident to say the show must go on. Good evening to all of you, lovely and gorgeous creations of God. Tonight, we stand in glamour and excitement as we grace this event with spectacular moments. This is Sir Dennis Santos.
Our extravagant ideas have finally come to the time that all of us have been waiting for. I'm teacher Chloe Zenizal.
Believe in the magnificent thing that brought you here. Conception Holy Cross College Incorporated and the rest of the community proudly present to you
Royal Ball 2017. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Without Him, we are nothing. So, it is right and just to give Him thanks and praise.
Our hearts definitely feel joyful to give glory to God in the highest. Come and let our prayers be heard.
In doing so, please all stand, and in a moment of silence, extend your sincerity for the lighting of candles, which will be honored by the elementary and high school teachers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lennon, Mr. Pangan, and fellow teachers. You may now be seated. Once again, good evening, everyone, and to you, partner.
Good evening, partner.
Partner, when it comes to an event like this where guests are gathered, how do you describe Filipinos?
Well, there is one thing that my tongue wants to say. Filipinos are known for hospitality. We are always gentle to entertain visitors.
In other words, magilo tayong tumanggap ng mga bisita. As a proof of action, please welcome the head teacher of the elementary and high school department, Mrs. Angeline Zerudo, for the welcome remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Royal Ball 2017. In the early days of high school proms, the nighttime dance served as a function similar to a debutante ball. Early proms were times of first. The first adult social event for teenagers, the first time taking the family car out after dark, the first real dressed-up affair, and so forth. Proms also served as a heavily documented occasion, similar to a milestone event such as First Communion or a wedding, in which the participants were taking an important step into a new stage in their lives. In earlier days, the prom may have also served as an announcement of engagement for the best couple after the prom court had been crowned and recognized. In the Philippines, proms are popular in high schools. Prom usually takes place in the junior and senior years of high school, which is normally around February or March. Proms are commonly known as JS prom or junior seniors prom. Conversely, if a high school has separate dances for juniors and seniors, the term prom is reserved for the juniors, and the dance for the seniors is called a graduation ball, oftenly abbreviated as grand ball or simply ball. Tonight, we continue the tradition. Let this occasion be something we can be proud of in the years to come. With our blessing and love, let happy memories be made. Once again, welcome and thank you.
Thank you so much, Teacher Angeline Zerudo, for those delightful words of welcome. The success of this event can never be achieved without them. They are the moving forces of this momentous occasion. They work as a team, and as a team, they work. Who are these, Teacher Chloe?
Well, they are no other than the enthusiastic advisors of Junior. Please welcome Miss Sandra Dizon, Mrs. Abigail Panes, and Mr. Rino Alimuru for their short messages.
First of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening, parents, students, and our guests, and to our judges. We thank you for coming over po this night. It is a very special night for all our kids, especially if later po, you will be surprised that they have bloomed into princesses and into prince. So again, let's just enjoy the night, and thank you all for coming.
Good evening po sa ating lahat. So, God is good talaga. Kanina, hindi ko po alam bakit umuulan. Pero, enjoy lang po natin yung gabing ito. At sana lahat ay magiging masaya. Okay, good evening po sa ating lahat.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry if I have a copy on my phone. It's too long. I know that it was a whirlwind days for all of us during those times, that we are all sacrificing and working hand in hand for this much awaited event. To the supportive parents of both grade 9 and grade 10 students, we were extremely thankful for your cooperation. To the students, thank you for the commitment of time and energy to make this evening be yours, be a memorable one. Let's enjoy the night. This is another night of glamour and excitement. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Teacher Sandra, Teacher Abby, and Sir Rino for the messages straight from the hearts.
And now, let the aisle be unfazed, and let the light shine upon the grand entrance of the stars of this celebration, starting with
John Michael Cunanan, son of Mr. and Mrs. Jerry and Clarissa Cunanan.
Chabelita Supan, daughter of Mr. Leonardo and Lorraine P. Supan.
Another big round of applause for Gio Anthony Sebastian, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ronaldo and Pamela Joy Sebastian.
Christine Ray Bagsig, daughter of Mr. Arnold and Mrs. Rosanna Bagsig.
How about Rovi Kyle Garcia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Romel and Vilma Jane Garcia.
Aubrey Rose Lugay, daughter of Mr. Jordan and Rosita Lugay.
Forward, Patrick Gamboa, son of Mr. and Mrs. Froilan and Socorro Gamboa.
Macy Angela Masiklan, daughter of Mr. Rinaldo and Mrs. Mirna Masiklan.
Let's all see J. Mark Yarves, son of Mr. and Mrs. Marvin and Hannah Yarves.
Chris Myrene Cunanan, daughter of Mr. Crescencio and Mrs. Emily Cunanan.
Here are Joshua Manuel Cabigting, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joel and Jovita Cabigting.
Kelly Eunice de la Cruz, daughter of Mr. Darwin and Mrs. Marinel de la Cruz.
Say hi and hello to Antonio Rafael Pineda, son of Mr. and Mrs. Romeo and Maria Cecilia Pineda.
Leanne Mangalindan, daughter of Mr. Ronnie and Felita Mangalindan.
Good evening to you, Kestin John Pineda, son of Mr. and Mrs. Oliver and Vilma Pineda.
Bea Bianca Enibin, daughter of Mr. Edwin and Mrs. Marigold Enibin.
It's your turn, Joseph Daniel David, son of Mr. and Mrs. Ariel and Virgie David.
Michelle Ann Solo, daughter of Mr. William and Mrs. Lolita Solo.
Next pair we have Arvin Dayao Jr., son of Mr. and Mrs. Arvin Sr. and Emily Dayao.
Emeline De Leon, daughter of Mr. Antonio and Mrs. Bredaline De Leon.
Palakpakan naman po natin sila. So let me present to you Amiel Lampa, son of Mr. and Mrs. Abuer and Antoinette Lampa.
Ivan Riza Cordova, daughter of Mr. Benigno and Mrs. Floriza Cordova.
Give the floor to Keith Dane Santos, son of Mr. and Mrs. Marvin and Debralyn Santos.
Nicole Kate Hernandez, daughter of Mr. Alvin and Mrs. Alma Hernandez.
On the stage, please, Lancelot Garcia, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alan and Mary Rose Garcia.
Jubilee May Rivera, daughter of Mr. Irineo and Lilibet Rivera.
Make way for Gerald Lane Gutierrez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Anthony and Fatima Gutierrez.
Kim C. Quinto, daughter of Mr. Leo and Mrs. Marites Quinto.
Give it up for Emil Magcalas, son of Mr. and Mrs. Medardo and Rosario Magcalas.
Anna Nicole Tolentino, daughter of Mr. Roderick and Mrs. Evangeline Tolentino.
Will you be the prom king and queen? Christian Carlos Suarez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Edison and Mercedes Suarez.
Ezra Jane Gomez, daughter of Mr. J and Mrs. Maritas Gomez.
Put your hands together for Anthony Joshua Lagunero, son of Mr. and Mrs. Junicio and Doris Lagunero.
Nicole Gamboa, daughter of Mr. Ian Pitt and Mrs. Jinky Gamboa.
We also have Eric John Garcia, son of Mr. Edwin and Mrs. Rosalie Garcia.
Sofia Canasa, daughter of Mr. Rodentor and Mrs. Jacqueline Canasa.
We are glad that you are here, Orivon Villavicencio, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alvin and Irene Villavicencio.
Clarice Cal Santos, daughter of Mr. Ariel and Mrs. Clarice Santos.
How sweet you are, Julmar Di Macali, son of Mr. and Mrs. Julio and Marilu Di Macali.
Dolorime Hernandez, daughter of Mr. Alvin and Mrs. Alma Hernandez.
Enjoy the night, Aljon Flores, son of Mr. and Mrs. Francis and Grace Flores.
Catherine Gamboa, daughter of Mr. Raymond and Mrs. Mayday Gamboa.
On the center stage, Stephen John Di Macali, son of Mr. and Mrs. Rodelio and Agnes Di Macali.
Shaina Abigail Cabral, daughter of Mr. Jericho and Mrs. Riza Cabral.
Next, we have the son of Mr. and Mrs. Nilo and Rose Calma. He is no other than Romel Calma.
Jasmine Claire Cunanan, daughter of Mr. Jerry and Mrs. Clariza Cunanan.
Make some noise for Joshua Hoson, son of Mr. and Mrs. Sarni and Mary Hoson.
Lindsay Pineda, daughter of Mr. Jesse and Myla Pineda.
It's a perfect combination of Nico Feliciano, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alex and Leonida Feliciano.
Christine Nicole Punsalan, daughter of Mr. Masinel and Mrs. Christy Punsalan.
You look fabulous tonight, Paulo Cairo Feliciano, son of Mr. and Mrs. Bienvenido and Rosario Feliciano.
Christina Eliza Lagman, daughter of Mr. Jordan and Mrs. Annalisa Lagman.
Put a smile on your face, Vincent Baruelo, son of Mr. and Mrs. Vladimir and Esther Baruelo.
Ayan Pamintuan, daughter of Mr. Romel and Mrs. Catherine Pamintuan.
Let me now call on Patrick Gerard Di Marucot, son of Mr. and Mrs. Patricio and Glenda Di Marucot.
Princess Castro, daughter of Mr. Antonio and Miss Mary Angel Munoz.
Another pair is Kian Devota, son of Mr. and Mrs. Leonardo Jr. and Isabel Devota.
Elisa Jen Brutas, daughter of Mr. Archie and Mrs. Alma Brutas.
Welcome, Allen Gabriel Ladrillo, son of Mr. and Mrs. Peter and Leslie Ladrillo.
Kimberly Michelle Santos, daughter of Mr. Marvin and Mrs. Deborah Santos.
Get ready for John Mark Angelo Manaid, son of Mr. and Mrs. Johnny and Janet Manaid.
Alicia Lian Poblacio, daughter of Mr. Oliver and Mrs. Joan Poblacio.
We are almost complete. Inigo Ramirez, son of Mr. and Mrs. Fernando and Jennifer Ramirez.
Leanne Day Reed, daughter of Mr. Aneso and Mrs. Betsaida Day Reed.
Finally, we have Paul Jericho Macalino, son of Mr. and Mrs. Macalino.
Justin Jade De Guzman, son of Mr. and Mrs. De Guzman.
Another big round of applause for these cotillioners. Witness the most awaited part of this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, make way for
the
the
Cotillon
Cotillon
de Honor. What about a big hand for that dance presentation? We would like to thank Mr. Charlie De La Peña and Mr. Ariel David Arceo for the choreography of that fabulous number.
When certain thing ends, a new journey begins. That's actually how the cycle of life goes on and on. But before leaving the path that you've gone through, you need someone to entrust responsibility in your hand, the goodwill of your minds, and the love and peace in your hearts.
Friends, let's all witness the turnover ceremonies. The same door will be opened on the same key. Here are Vea Bianca Enipin, grade 9 student, and Eric Chan Garcia, grade 10, for the key of responsibility. Let's give them a big hand. Once again, Bea Bianca Enipin and Eric Chan Garcia for the key of responsibility.
If there's a will, there's a way. The cane of goodwill will now be handed down from Paulo Cairo Feliciano, grade 10 student, to Alan Gabriel Ladrino, grade 9 student.
This cane that I'm giving to you symbolizes the importance of a friendly aptitude in anything that you will do. A work which is done with joy is done easier. Being a leader is not an easy task. It entails you a lot of work, hardships, and sacrifices. It is only with a cheerful heart could a leader bear all of these things. May this cane be your guide, strength, and power, just like what it did to Moses. Nothing can hinder you in achieving the good things for all the students of Concepcion Holy Cross College Incorporated. With God by your side, guard every action that you will take, bearing in mind that all of these things are for the good of our alma mater, Concepcion Holy Cross College Incorporated.
I humbly accept this cane of goodwill, which symbolizes a friendly disposition that leads to a better way on how I will perform my tasks well as a leader to my fellow students. Leadership is not based on position. It is defined by the actions we do in order to make our works better. This is why I acknowledge you this cane of good will from you, my elders, have entrusted me and perform well. I will promise you to do my best in order to do good things to other people. With the help of God, I will try to do these things.
Thanks to you, Paolo Cairo and Alan Gabriel. May love and peace always reign in every heart. This is indeed what everyone is wishing for. Two individuals